How's it going, everybody? I am Donut, and this is a Black Lives Matter and All Cops Are Bastards supporting channel. If that makes you uncomfortable, you can get the fuck out of here. This is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 9, Closure. Which I'm pretty sure would be the closure that Hydra wants on the Inhuman situation, and also closing the portal, perhaps closure on, I don't know, I guess I can't think of anything else, just those two. Those are my two guesses. Let's jump right into it. I want to get the fuck into this episode already. If you want to get the full length, check it out on the Patreon. $4 a month, you know the deal. Starting with a record. Colson, maybe? Yeah.
Told Banks about us?
Yeah, I tell Banks everything.
It's like a Ray-Him man. It's like May.
I didn't realize you two were so chummy.
You're such a Luddite.
You know I have a flying car, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, an old flying car. And no, you don't anymore, right? Isn't it all like trashed? Bet his fucking laser finger's got a fucking crank up dial. Again, as much as both these people are awful people, I love this relationship they have.
Know. DC power player with
Extremely entertaining.
Yeah, including mine.
Where he somehow managed to remove every Inhuman you had in custody. Thank you.
Wait, you think Malik's mobile?
Such a small little thing, but
why?
I love
Not
the
sure.
details of that.
That's what I intend to find out. But I scheduled a meeting with Malik, and that way...
Oh, they're already trying to assassinate you. Get down, get down, get down, 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 down. Oh, no, they already got her.
Rosalind?
Oh my god. And the fact they went for her, not even him, not Coulson.
Stay with me.
Yeah, how fucking far away was that? Holy shit. Was this Ward? Okay. Now, okay, classic Ward. He probably 100% could have gotten the shot on Coulson there, but instead wanted to kill, you know, the woman that Coulson loved. And now is it gonna be Ward on the fucking phone? Dude, it's very, very rare that we've ever seen Coulson this shaken up.
Now you know how it feels, Coulson. Watch someone you care for bleed out.
Yeah.
What?
I knew that's what he was doing.
It still sounds funny when you don't say agent first. S.H.I.E.L.D. keeps sending its best agents to kill me. Thought I'd stop that from happening again by taking out the guy who keeps sending them.
Dude, see, Coulson's acting is great here.
Right now.
Ward, you have to know this is the stupidest fucking plan on Earth. You're really gonna send a bunch of people to kill Coulson. Like, has this ever worked? Ward knows Coulson. He should know this ain't gonna work. I mean, hey, this guy's actually... Yeah, I was gonna say, if just there's one more person in here, he might be fucked. Oh, flamethrower. Oh, okay. Just making a bomb, okay. Honestly, it probably would have been better to use it as a flamethrower. Just to get it in their face and distract them. I love how consistent S.H.I.E.L.D. is with the shoot out the window before you jump through it. Nice. I was assuming it was me and Mac. See, Ward, this is what you fucking get for never taking your goddamn shots. And also, like, man, what a great parallel to, you know, him choosing the worst spot he possibly could have in season 1 for obvious reasons. When he wants to snipe, he knows how to fucking do it. See, but this is exactly what I was talking about last discussion, though. Getting to see them actually as a happy couple first before, you know, we do the tragedy stuff. I think that's also, you know, one of my problems with the girl that Coulson was originally with in a relationship. Like, we didn't, you know, we were just told everything. We didn't really ever see their relationship. I am extremely worried, though, because Coulson is going to be a lot more desperate now.
I want each of the original team members to tell me everything they remember about Ward, down to the smallest detail, no matter how uncomfortable.
Great. I mean, that's going to get extremely personal with May. Oh.
Did he ever confess any personal details?
We didn't do much talking.
How was your relationship with Ward after he saved your life?
I was grateful.
Just grateful?
Once I caught him alone in my bunk, like some sort of creeper.
Was he stealing?
No, I don't think so. But he was just sitting there, staring at a picture of me and my mom.
Oh. Like, I bet, really quick, I bet, like, that was definitely Ward, you know, having his like, oh, I'm not a bad guy. I don't want to have to do it to these people. They have families. I love them. Oh, I'm not a bad guy. But, you know, I love getting to this shit. See, the little subtle creepy shit that he did. That, like, because that's always the thing, right? Everybody says, oh, it's so surprising we never saw it coming. But it's like, nah, there was definitely some clues there. You just weren't looking at them.
Did he ever open up about what had hurt him?
Whatever it was seemed to drive him. Made him desperate for others to think of him as some kind of hero.
He and I, we were like
Just-
brothers.
yeah.
At least that's what
I
it felt
love
like
that
at the time
aspect of
I
Ward.
realized he was just using me.
Using you for what?
It's hard to describe really, but it was like he was trying to replace something that had gone missing.
His own brother.
Such a pathetic flirt, always laughing at his jokes and those ridiculous puns.
You were attracted to him.
Well, he did jump out of a plane to save me.
Ever think the feeling might have been mutual?
That's not what Wood needed from me. Besides, it was obvious.
I'm glad we're touching on the Simmons and Ward thing that was definitely clearly a thing that was going on as well.
Now explain to me how you fell for him.
I realize this has got to be hard on you.
It's got to, though.
I just want to get the guy who took Roz out.
Alright, now Banks is... I think Banks is a cool actor, though. He is a piece of shit.
We both had these messed up childhoods. Made it easy to relate.
Have you considered that all that might have been an act to get close? That maybe he found a weakness and exploited it?
It wasn't an
course.
act.
I mean, I'm sure she
Whoever
thought about
was
it,
in
though.
Ward never lied to me. He just hid parts of himself that I wasn't ready to see yet.
Yet?
When you grow up like we did, it impacts how you see the world. Everything is filtered through a very specific lens. And Ward got that. That's why he thought he could make me understand him.
Was he right?
Probably.
Really?
After years of moving from place to place, I totally get how easy it was for him to be taken in by a powerful father figure.
Well, yeah.
I even understand how Garrett was able to draw him into Hydra. It's not like I wasn't fooled by my mom when she...
Sounds like there's a lot you're willing to forgive.
I will never forgive him.
Yeah, this is not a forgiving thing. This is an understanding
murdered Rosamund.
why.
Just to hurt you. The reason Ward kills isn't because he feels nothing. It's because he feels too much.
But yeah, understanding why they do something is not the same as excusing it. Which is what I have to constantly say about Coulson. I understand where Coulson comes from. I understand Coulson's character. But doesn't mean I like him. Also, really interesting that he's found himself in basically, essentially, older Garrett.
You were supposed to take Ward out. I sent you to do a job.
Jeez.
You failed.
I mean,
Now
yeah.
you were dead.
You need to calm down.
That fist is strong. But seriously, that's what I've been
Should
saying.
never have had the chance to do what he did.
No,
You had every opportunity, Hunter, and you fucked it up.
she's right. I'm the one who picked Ward for this team. Everything that happened since, it's on me.
Well, that's what I've been saying.
I'd do anything to have another shot at the bastard.
It all boils down to whoever let Hydra get apart, be in
We
S.H.I.E.L.D. in the
better not
first
miss this
place.
time.
Which is all of S.H.I.E.L.D.
This time.
I figured out a way to track down Ward, but we gotta go off book.
My speciality.
I'm not sure taking Hunter is really such a good idea.
You're going
He's
too
got to
easy,
make
boss.
up.
We need a pilot.
I mean, sure. Shouldn't be a pilot, but...
What are you thinking?
It's simple, Agent McKenzie. To take Ward out, I need to cross some lines the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. shouldn't cross.
Oh,
But maybe
shit.
those lines aren't meant to be crossed.
Yeah. What is he
This is
doing?
happening.
What, you want me to fill in?
As acting director until it's finished.
Yeah, I think Mac would be
Why not put
honestly.
me in charge?
After everything
I
that's
don't
happened
know
with
that,
Andrew,
actually.
she's not ready to lead.
Be great in
She's the
some
only one I trust
aspects,
who
but
doesn't have an axe to grind with Ward.
I was gonna check out the distant star facility with Fitz and Simmons.
They've already gone. I sent them and a team with Agent Banks 20 minutes ago.
Well, maybe I should go.
This isn't a request. It's an order. I need you to step up and do the damn job.
Does this mean you're gonna tell me your plan?
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay. So he's just hot fucking Hydra. Waiting for the right opportunity. Or maybe he's being controlled.
It's not
Yeah.
me.
I wonder if it's the same guy. Good thing it's an icer. I think. I thought. No? It had a blue handle. So, okay, we didn't actually deal with this guy.
Mr. Malik is waiting.
Great. Same fucking situation as season 1 now. Okay. Jesus Christ.
We got no heroes here today, mate.
Oh God, how'd you find me?
That guy was like smiling. How's it feel?
I got 2 of yours, so you take 1 of mine.
Yeah, that's exactly how it
Like I
is.
said, 2 sides, same coin.
Yeah.
Only I doubt you're willing to take it all the way.
I thought you might say that, so I brought a friend along.
I do like just how extreme the parallels are between S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra right now.
I swear I'll cut Fitz from head to toe. If
Thumbs.
And you just said that to him?
Is everything?
Time's up.
Put Thomas back on the phone.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
You trace the call.
You
Not coming
dumbass. And is War gonna, cross through? He's always said, I'm not gonna hurt you.
In my professional opinion, he should not be allowed in the proposed initiative. What do you think?
Yeah, because it's like hard to take Andrew's word at this point.
I'm not even sure if that's Andrew's evaluation. Maybe it's Lash.
Yeah, how
How are we supposed to know the difference?
Fuck.
That's a live sat feed from the castle where Ward and Malik are holding Fitzsimmons.
Mac, you are the director right now.
Outgunned, with no time to mount an assault with even a snowball's chance against a fortified Hydra.
What do we do?
The hell am I supposed to do?
I think you already know.
Bring in the Inhumans? I don't think that's such a good idea. Could go very wrong. But Coulson's fucking making us have to do it.
We're just about to open
Is
up.
he
the
actually
portal. I
torturing
thought you might
anyway?
wanna comment.
Oh boy. Oh, both of
I
them.
might just
Okay.
get my team after
But
all.
are we not getting...
Listen
I assumed
up.
we would be getting all the Inhumans.
Hydra has Fitz and Simmons, and they're planning to open another portal. Which is why we're going to stop them.
Yeah. Why us?
I'm guessing we're all they've got.
You two have powers, Mother Agent Stone. But I'm not going to lie to you. This is a dangerous mission. And
So
the
is
odds are not
Alicia
in
the
favor.
only other one we have? And is
Not
she like
really a selling
in like
point.
a coma right
Here's the
now
deal.
still?
What Hydra's planning is going to hurt a lot of innocent people. Maybe people you care about. I wouldn't be asking you for your help if I didn't think we had a chance. So either you step up and do the damn job, or you let the bad guys win. The choice is yours.
Sadly, Coulson's giving us no choice here. They look really cool in those uniforms, by the way. Especially Joey.
Nice speech, Director.
Mac is so cool.
You're the only one that can do this. And if you cross over to that other side, you will finally see that your faith in Hydra was never misplaced. It's real. You will look it in the eye.
I don't think Ward's gonna do this.
We'll be able to do whatever the hell we want.
Maybe he will, I guess.
He's going through.
If that really is Ward, then we're too late.
Oh my god. Coulson's jumping into the portal. Is this gonna be possible? How is he gonna do this?
Can't do this. Only complete lunatic would go down there without a plan. I'm ending this.
Coulson's a lunatic. What do you expect?
Coulson, wait!
Okay, the Hunter was going too, but okay, he's diving straight in the fucking portal. There's just an open hole. Oh my god.
Shut it down.
Oh, what the fuck was that? He's gonna be launched through the other side. Wonder how it handles momentum. They're already in the sandstorm. Okay, so. Wasn't as bad as it could have been. Oh, well, that was bad. Oh, better hope. Will's probably gonna find him, actually. Yeah, I think Will's gonna be the one to find Coulson. And then we'll have two groups. Okay. Well, I will see you guys for the fucking discussion. Jesus. So, just last episode I was talking about the romance tragedy thing and preferring a romance tragedy happening after we've seen the two as a couple. Setting us up just for this right here. Again, I would have liked it if we got a little bit more with them, but the little we did get was so well acted between the two of them, and just throughout all the season with their flirting and everything. They're very well acted, and I think it mostly made up for it. I'm always gonna want more, but it mostly made up for it. As I said before, Coulson and Rosalind really had that like Vanessa and Fisk vibe if they actually, if Vanessa and Fisk actually had good intentions. They have that, just, essentially like billionaires, just like fucking, it's like peering into another world, the way they even talk, the stuff they talk about, blah, blah, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it is fascinating on a, morbid curiosity sort of sense. It is like I'm just peering into some like fucked up world. But, and I do think something like this was very much needed for Coulson's character. I thought we were actually going for a thing of Rosalind was going to stick around and she was going to be like a character that, Coulson was going to have as a confidant aside from May, right? May's always been his right-hand man, but May has been, gone a lot, and she's out on the field a lot and everything like that. So I thought we were going with Rosalind going to be sort of like that for Coulson now. Not like a replacement May, since she wouldn't even be in S.H.I.E.L.D., but I get maybe if the ATC got shut down after all this and everything. But yeah, that's what I thought we were going with it. Clearly not. But I do think this is needed for Coulson's character. That, I've said that Coulson is an interesting character. I like, I've always compared him to Fury. Him and Fury are very similar characters, whereas I think Fury's not that interesting of a character. I think Coulson is. But, I still have Coulson very low on my list of favorite characters in S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. I had him higher up originally, but, throughout the series, I think there's just been more interesting characters than him. I wouldn't say that he particularly, he's definitely been shown to be a way of a worse person as we continued on, but, from season 2 to now, it hasn't been, that much of a difference in me, disliking him more than I already have. It's just been more of a thing of other characters becoming more interesting. But, something like this, where, previously with him and Rosalind, we've had them, they say they want to be doing good. They talk about them doing good for the world and the people of the world, and yet so many aspects of their organizations, grossly violate human rights and make it very hard to like them as people or just, believe them at all that they're, wanting to do good, or even that, they do believe they are wanting to do good, but they are clearly not, doing good. It is what I thought we were doing with Fisk in season 1 of Daredevil. I thought that was going to be Fisk's character, but then like the big, twist at I don't want to get too into it, but I want to actually be able to talk about it. So, at the end with him, the whole season we're thinking, does Fisk have good intentions? Or is, he's wanting to do some, is he trying to do some for the greater good thing or not, or whatever, and it turns out not to be. But that is what I think, Coulson and Rosalind feel like. They feel like these characters, they are constantly talking about doing the greater good. They want to do good for the world, but it comes at the cost of so much fucked up shit that you can't at that point say that you're doing good anymore. But yeah, now with Rosalind dying and Coulson having this big grudge that is very emotionally motivated and very emotionally driven, I'm way more into that. It's not like any more justifiable or anything like that. It's just way more interesting to me. I'm going to be always more interested in the characters doing bad things because they are very emotionally driven rather than doing bad things because they're trying to do the greater good thing. That's just me personally. That's just the kind of characters that I like, seeing and watching on screen. So, I think that's why, going back a couple episodes ago with Hunter, and May going to get Ward, and I was fully on Hunter. I was like, Hunter, I know what you're going to do here. You're going to try and take the shot. You're going to risk Andrew's life, and I don't think it is justified in any way. I don't think I would make the same decision, but I can understand why Hunter would make the decision, and I wanted Hunter to make that decision because I was hoping that he could actually, finish the deal and everything. But I love the more emotionally driven stuff rather than the more logical stuff, because when they try and do the logically good thing, they end up usually doing something pretty fucked up. So I'm realizing if they're just gonna be doing fucked up shit anyway, I would rather be emotionally driven. So yeah, talking about Hunter, I totally get why Coulson would just attack Hunter this episode, choking him out and punching the wall and everything. God damn, that was really aggressive. But, Hunter is a fucking piece of garbage. He risked Andrew's life to take a shot at Ward, missed it, and then has just been making jokes about it and acting like it's not a big deal and not apologizing for it in any fucking way. He absolutely deserves all that, and he absolutely deserves to be dragged on this mission and forced to do the right. Even if, the plan is bad, regardless, he should be forced to be doing the right thing and, forced to be going out there and making amends for what he fucking caused. And the whole Lash situation, again, it complicates everything. And that is what I love about shows like this and shows like Lost. I'm bringing it back because I do want to talk about Lost again this episode, as I always do. I mean, I'll just say it right now. I think at this point, Ward is probably I like him more than I like Benjamin Linus, which, I think there's a hell of a lot of differences in their characters, but there is there's a tiny bit of similarity where I think that was the idea, originally hey, what if we did a character like Ben Linus? That was probably the very origin of him, of Ward's character, and then they've gone so, vastly different, types of characters, but it does feel like that sort of thing, which is why I was worried about in season 2. I was like, man, when I didn't know what we were going to do with Ward in season 2, my predictions for season 2, I should say, I thought oh man, I hope that we don't try and redeem Ward in any way or do anything like that, because I love Ben Linus as a character in Lost, but at the end with the sort of redemption aspect is I don't know. I think Ben Linus needed to have some sort of semblance of a, a real actual consequence for his actions, and he didn't really get that. He got it in a lot of ways, but not really. And so I hope that we don't fall into that trap with Ward. I want Ward to have consequences for all these actions in an extremely negative way, more so than he already has. The Kara thing is nice. That's a good one. I love the aspect of Ward. He used to be smiling all the time. He was this wacko psychopath that would just be smiling because I'm the hero and I'm just doing what, blah, blah, blah. Whereas now, after Kara's death, he's completely solemn and, no smile, no, like, even when he's cracking a joke, he is not smiling. Even when he is, antagonizing S.H.I.E.L.D., he is not smiling while doing it, which is a really nice, like, change in his character. But we still need more consequences. I do like that every time he is with, like, any, one of our characters that, knows him, they just are constantly, digging into him and insulting him and shit like that, like with Fitz and Simmons this episode. Absolutely loved it. But okay, circling back to the Hunter thing that we were talking about. Yeah, I fully understand why Coulson would do that. I fully get, I agree Hunter needs to be on this mission. Now, I'm also glad that in that talk with Hunter, Coulson has come to close enough to a realization of Ward being his problem. Like, with the, he was the one who let Ward on the team. It is his problem. He was the, like, and I think it's that is hard to that is hard to say, right? I appreciate that he's blaming himself, but the way that he's blaming himself, is it Coulson's fault that he let Ward on his team? Not really. Ward is an insanely good actor. He is insanely good at espionage. It is not Coulson's fault for letting Ward on his team. Now, that said, S.H.I.E.L.D. as an organization is at fault. In the same way that the ATCU as an organization is at fault, in the same way that NASA is at fault. NASA is absolutely, I think that's the big one of people would say, like, well, okay, let me explain what I'm saying for a second. So, Hydra cannot infiltrate these organizations without the organizations being as awful as they are. Like, if Hydra can go unnoticed in your organization, then that is a problem with the way your organization operates. Because it's not like Hydra is just there doing nothing. In all these organizations, Hydra is actively doing a lot of stuff. And the reason why they don't notice is because it's pretty much par for the course of what the organizations do. The NASA one is a little bit different, because that one seems to be more of a thing of, it was this whole side thing that was being funded, on the sides, like, it was barely a part of NASA. It was definitely a more side thing, and the main problem there is the fact that they didn't really have a fucking problem with that. But NASA's always had, I mean, we have the fucking Nazis in, we've been talking about this since Winter Soldier. Fucking Operation Paperclip is a real thing. NASA's fucked up. It's as systematically corrupt as every fucking other big-ass organization out there, and big-ass fucking government organization. It's just par for the fucking course. And so that's how Hydra goes unnoticed in these fucking organizations. When places like S.H.I.E.L.D. have human experimentation going on, it's not that, you don't notice the Hydra human experimentation when it's not any different from the S.H.I.E.L.D. human experimentation that Fury was doing and Coulson was fine with. The clearance levels are a obvious, huge reason why this fucking happens. We've been talking about clearance levels since season 1, and they've gotten rid of the clearance levels, but they have not gotten rid of the insane amount of secrecy, which is why all this shit keeps happening. If there's one number one thing for why the world is as fucked up as it is right now in the MCU as large, it is secrecy within S.H.I.E.L.D. primarily, and just other organizations as well. But that has been the primary cause. And it's just, it's so, like, you want to just say, I told you so, knew it was going to happen, from saying through all of my reactions. And I mean, yeah, that's the point of the show, and that's what we're going to keep going with it, and that's why it's entertaining. But, it's always hilarious to me when people in the comments try and just, when people in the comments just don't understand the themality of certain, series. But that's a problem with really all fandoms in general. It's just people not understanding, the themes of a show. But yeah, it just, also still talking about the stuff that allows this stuff to happen, so I read it in my notes and I want to talk about it. It's just the general awful treatment of, powered individuals in general makes it very easy for someone that is Hydra to go unnoticed in S.H.I.E.L.D., because how are you going to think that, they are like someone like John Garrett, you know, when he was even in S.H.I.E.L.D, he was a piece of shit. That's what I was talking about, you know, in season 1, where I was like, okay, I don't, you know, I distrusted for Garrett for a while, and then when I started to actually trust him was when I said, you know, oh, I don't think he's actually, like, you know, you know, I wasn't saying Hydra because we didn't fucking have a Hydra at that point, but I didn't think he was the clairvoyant or, you know, trying to backstab us in any way, because I was like, oh, I think he's just, you know, another S.H.I.E.L.D. shithead. I think he's just another, you know, everybody in S.H.I.E.L.D.'s a fucking piece of shit. And, you know, the rampant use of force that S.H.I.E.L.D. uses without any crime or threat whatsoever, you know, there's just so much that allows this to happen. And, you know, a lot of that could all be said for the ATCU as well. And, you know, various stuff like that, like the other places we've seen the Hydra, like other government organizations and other government systems and all that shit. All this shit can basically be said about themselves too. They've said it in the show 1,000 times. I've said it myself 1,000 times. Two sides of the same coin. Hydra and S.H.I.E.L.D. really not much different. There really isn't. The only difference is that Hydra is pure evil and S.H.I.E.L.D. pretends to be good. But, you know, that ain't good. Pretending to be good and bullshitting and lying and saying we're gonna do this and then not doing that thing, you know, that's no, absolutely not. No compromises. Every single person that was a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. you know, not even at this point, it has to be everybody who's currently in S.H.I.E.L.D. I was gonna say everybody who was in S.H.I.E.L.D. you know, or like up to the Winter Soldier thing, up to the Hydra, you know, coming into light and all that. But no, because at this point it's still being run by Coulson and still being run by so many people from the old S.H.I.E.L.D. that we're now running into the same fucking problem, like bringing on Andrew and stuff. So no, everybody in S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, I know it's not going to happen in the show, and I wouldn't want it to happen in the show because it wouldn't be interesting. But morally, all of S.H.I.E.L.D. needs to be flushed. Flush the fucking system and bring in an entire new organization to be S.H.I.E.L.D. One that can actually be held fucking accountable, you know, but not by the government. Definitely not by the fucking government, or else we're just gonna have bigger fucking problems there. But one that can actually be fucking held accountable, and one that isn't a secret goddamn organization. But yeah, they need to fucking go. Every single person. But that ain't gonna happen. I don't want it to happen, you know, from an entertainment's point of view. It's always the, you know, it's the really dichotomy of the fucking, you know, of my reactions and of my discussions and all that, of like, you know, when I discuss stuff from a more philosophical standpoint and from a more, you know, relating it to real life and relating it to real problems in the world and all that. And when, you know, but at the same time, if they did all that sort of stuff, would I be interested in watching the show? Probably not. You know, it probably wouldn't be that interesting of a show if everything was going good and they were good people. It's very difficult to have a show be interesting when the characters are good people. So, but, you know, then all the fandoms for every show are going to defend these characters are good people. When in reality, very, very little shows that exist have, you know, actually good-hearted characters. You know, when you have character flaws, most of the time that character flaw, you want to make a really big one and a really interesting one. You know, real people have, you know, there are plenty of good people out there that have character flaws still, but the character flaws are a lot, you know, smaller, but that doesn't make for interesting television. So, I don't know, just something I wanted to talk about. I never really know how to put it into, you know, terms, but I understand there is this weird, you know, distinction between talking about the shows in a philosophical sense and you know, having to constantly reiterate that you understand that it's television. Like, it's annoying. It's so fucking annoying to have to repeat myself so goddamn much in my discussions, but I get it. I get it. I know how it fucking goes. So, Mac being a temporary director and a, like, permanently temporary director now. Let's talk about that for a second. So, I think that Mac would make an excellent director. Except for one glaring issue. I think everything about him is fantastic. But I just do not trust Mac to not always use excessive force. It's not even that I don't trust him to not use excessive force, you know, in a certain situation or whatever. I just don't trust Mac to not always, under every circumstance, not be using excessive force. He is absolutely the kind of person who would use a rocket launcher on a rabbit, as the saying goes. You know, he jumps to using the full force of their force every chance they get. But if we pretend that isn't a huge fucking issue, then I think Mac would be an excellent director. Sorry, keep burping. But yeah, I think aside from that, we just pretend that doesn't exist at all. We just stick our fingers in our ears, forget that isn't happening. Aside from that, he's like the fucking Rain Man of bad situations. Every fucking call he makes is proven to be right if they actually made it, but they never do, you know? So, we can easily assume that none of this would have happened if it wasn't for, you know, if Mac actually went to the complex with Fitz and Simmons. You know, assumingly, you know, there might have been a fight and everything like that, but I don't think they would have been kidnapped the way they were, and all that stuff. You know, maybe then they would have had Fitzsimmons and Mac, maybe. But, you know, I think Mac might have been able to take on that guy. I think he might have had it. But, you know, that's all a bunch of, you know, maybes. Who knows? So, let's not stick on that. So, then we have the super duper awesome scene, absolutely loved it, of Coulson asking all the original cast members what, I didn't know how else to say that, you know, what their opinion, like, if there was anything about Ward that seemed off, like, you know, let's really get down to the nitty gritty. Let's really touch on the, you know, people always say, oh, you know, we never could have saw it coming. Oh, I can't believe that person was the kind of person who would, you know, shoot up a school or something. But it's like, no, 9 times out of 10, you absolutely can tell. It's always just people, you know, looking away, just, you know, turning a blind eye, not really wanting to look at all the clues that are there. You know, that's always what it is. And, like, so getting that with Ward, it also really builds up the, you know, the psychopathic nature of him. Like, with the whole Kara situation and everything, he's been a lot less weird, for lack of a better word. Like, you know, he's had a lot less of those little tiny things that make him so, you know, like, there's no word for it other than just, like, I don't know. I don't have a word for it. Just make him a fucking creep. You know? I think that's the best. It's just like the little subtle things that make him a fucking creep. And I'm glad we're bringing back, like, I have been talking about it forever, and I'm glad we're, you know, I'm not glad, but it's cool that we're talking about it in, plain, you know, language, you know, talking about Ward's hero complex, his, like, thing of, oh, I'm a good person because I don't want to do this to you, and blah, blah, blah. You know, his whiny, I am a good person even if I'll crash a whole plane full of people. I mean, to be fair, I think his hero complex is gone at this point. I think he has completely, you know, accepted the I am the villain role. I think so. But, yeah, the picture thing with him looking at Fitz's family, like, that's probably the biggest takeaway I loved from that. Like, that's such a real, you know, shit. It's so, like, real creepy, real life creepy. Oh, that is fucking terrifying. Imagining, like, Fitz seeing that, like, that is, you know, that is one of the things you see that and it's like, what the fuck, like, what reason would you possibly have for this? It's so fucking creepy. I am so glad that we brought back up the Simmons flirting thing. Like, you know, Ward talked about that a little tiny bit himself when he was explaining himself to Raina and, like, you know, all his, like, Machiavellian plans that he was doing while in S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff. But, like, really there, he was only really talking about the one jumping out of the plane instance. You know, now I'm glad that we actually got to talk about the whole, you know, real Simmons flirting, you know, with him the whole time and everything. And, you know, that was a little bit of a, you know, smaller thing. I would say, you know, Simmons flirting with Tripp would be a much, you know, that was definitely given way more focus than her flirting with Ward. But it is something that still needed to be addressed. Then we have, of course, now it makes sense with Fitz filling the Tommy role, and I can't believe I didn't see that at this point. At any point, I never saw that, and I really want to go rewatch the episode with the sandwich and all that. I can't remember what the title of that episode was, but yeah, I really want to go rewatch that episode and just really watch Ward during the whole episode. And man, I just that was getting that little part with Fitz as a foreshadowing in the episode itself for getting Tommy was really well done as well, from a writing perspective. With May not really having much to add, fair enough, yeah, didn't really talk much. Yeah, that's fair. That honestly is pretty telling in and of itself. They were just kind of fucking and, not really talking, and that's about it. That's kind of telling in and of itself, with where they both were at that point. So then, with the Daisy thing, talking about, that's pretty self-explanatory. We've been talking about, the whole Ward and her infatuation for a long, long period of time. But I think it was very important to bring up, and something that I was just talking about earlier in these discussions, the difference between understanding and why can't I say this? Understanding and empathizing versus justifying and supporting. They're two very different things. I understand Coulson. I empathize with Coulson. I am not justifying Coulson's actions, and I am not supporting Coulson's actions. I understand Ward's actions. I empathize with Ward's actions. I empathize with where he's coming from. I don't know if I even empathize with his actions at all, but I understand, his actions, and I empathize with his position, his circumstances. But I'm not justifying his actions, and I am not supporting, any of his actions. Two very different things. Two very, very different things. So, we got Tommy in this episode. Finally got to see him. Really nice. Not a great actor. We have a lot of great actors in S.H.I.E.L.D. Tommy, not a great actor. Sorry, gotta say it, not a great actor. But it was really nice to get the confirmation for, who was lying between Grant and Christian. I think we assumed, as I did, I assumed Christian was the one lying, that, everything there with the whole, pushing Tommy in the well and the whole Christian being abusive and everything. I assumed that was all, actual. But, there was always that 1% chance, not even 1% chance, there was a 30% chance or more, there was a whatever percent chance that Ward was just, that Christian was only saying all that because he was being, tortured. That's the problem with torture. You never know. But yeah, at this point, I think we can definitely say that, Christian was telling the truth there, and he was not lying. He was actually confessing. So, what else? I do think, I was talking about, I was hoping back in, before I got into season 2, that they weren't going to redeem Ward or anything like that, and I sure fucking hope that they won't, but now I am more confident that they won't. He's either got to die or get reformed at some point, but at this point, he's on Maveth, so he'll have the chance to escape again, assumingly, so this does open up a possibility for him to get out of here. Whereas, when he starts to get cornered, I'm more and more like, oh, no, they're either going to have to kill him or redeem him here. But then he gets away, and I'm like, okay, so they're just going to keep doing the ward skedaddles. In all honesty, I don't know. It does diminish a little bit of the war. I think that's why we definitely needed something like the plane scene and, the talking about the subtle, creepy stuff with Ward. Because this season, Ward has not been scary. He's just been like a rat that keeps getting away. He's just he keeps skedaddling away, but it didn't make him that threatening. It just kind of was it just sucks that Ward's out there and we can't get to him. I mean, it was kind of like how it was in season 2. He wasn't really doing anything. It was just Ward's out there and, it sucks that we can't get to him. But we really needed more of a, shit like this to actually, fear Ward and to actually, get us back on the hate boner train, you know? Still talking about Hydra. I don't know what the fuck's going on with these Hydra Inhumans. They've had this big fucking drop, like everybody in the ATCU that is at least, you know, maybe not everybody, because like maybe banks and stuff or not, but or else they would have to know about it. But everybody that is working with Hydra in the ATCU is an Inhuman. They have been fish-pilled, and they have either died or they have, you know, come back as an Inhuman, as well as people in the public, which does mean there's more Inhumans out there in the public, assumingly. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't, because, like, how many public witnesses were there, and are we really gonna, like, how many fucking Inhumans are there in the world, right? So it's like, they could have just killed all the public witnesses, and no public witnesses ever turned into an Inhuman. Or if they did, they might have just put them on stasis immediately. Now, it could also be a thing where if you know, the Hydra ATCU puts you through the Terrigenesis and you come out and give you the fish pills, you do the Terrigenesis, you come out and you can't control your abilities fast enough, like within 5 minutes, then they might just, you know, throw you in the fucking stasis too. But that does not explain why we have so many fucking Hydra soldiers that seem to have no ability whatsoever. Like, wouldn't it just be Ward, Gideon, and I forgot his fucking name again. But the Inhuman guy we have here, the Hydra Inhuman guy, you know, the only fucking one. But yeah, you'd think it would just be those three, because everybody else would be on stasis then. Because yeah, I just like, do these Hydra soldiers have abilities, but just, you know, we've only been able to get one single Inhuman with a decent ability in Hydra? Like, really? I don't know. It's getting real hard to suspend my disbelief, or like, what the fuck is going on with these Hydra Inhumans? They said they're all Inhuman. I don't get it. Am I crazy? Am I missing something here? Like, I re-looked at that line because I thought I was crazy. But they do say, yeah, everyone in the organization and all the bystanders have been. I assume the only one who hasn't is Gideon. You know? Makes sense why he wouldn't, but either way, I don't know. I hope we can get some more next episode. Yeah, I'm very surprised that Fitz let Simmons be tortured for that long this episode. You know, even if it looked like they didn't actually torture her in any way. She got like one cut on her cheek and that's about it. I'm not sure what she was screaming about, but you know, maybe it was just we didn't get to see it. You know, I don't know where she would have gotten tortured if we don't see it. Normally we think blood would be coming out somewhere, but whatever. Either way though, that was, you know, I don't know, man. Fitz is just diving so far on my favorites list within the past couple episodes. You know, he was so high. He was so insanely high on my list of favorite characters. And, like, people that I thought were actually good people. Like, really good people. But, man, these past couple episodes, just Fitz has been nosediving in awful person territory. First with all the Will shit, and now with, Simmons with the Will shit too. Like, Simmons is insane. Like, how do you spend 6 months on an alien planet with somebody and then say, it's too risky to go save him? Like, God, again, Simmons is probably at the, she was at the tippity top of the list, I think, of good people. I don't think I'd be able to name you a single character in S.H.I.E.L.D. that I thought was a better person than Simmons. Whereas now, I would put her on the fucking bottom. Like, not like with the villains and stuff, but like, in terms of people in S.H.I.E.L.D., I would put her on the fucking bottom. What a horrific, like, I can't imagine it. I cannot fathom the type of person that would spend 6 months on an alien planet with somebody, and even if bringing them back had the potential of bringing back this ultimate evil Inhuman thing, even with that, saying no, I cannot imagine that person existing in real life. I'm sure that something like that probably would exist in real life, but those two people spending 6 months on an alien planet with somebody else, and then that, how? Oh, Fitzsimmons, both of them with the fucking Will talk these past couple episodes has been driving me up the wall. So terrible. God, how can you be so mean? Fucking hell. No, I can't believe that out of so many characters from media, I've been, quoting Rorschach of all fucking people more and more often with the fucking, even in the face of Armageddon, no compromises. No fucking compromises. We're not fucking saying, oh, there might be a fucking, evil alien over there. Oh, we might let Hydra through. It doesn't fucking matter. We're saving a person's life. It's people first. People first, greater good second. So, next episode. What are my predictions for next episode? We have Joey, Lincoln, and Daisy versus a bunch of Hydra and humans. That is a big hope on my end. It's a big crossing my fingers that they have more than this one single fucking Hydra and human. But we'll see about that. May and Mac and a bunch of rando agents versus just the Hydra soldiers that should have powers, but either we don't see them or they don't for some fucking reason. Hunter and Bobby, I assume the plane is probably going to fucking crash and they're going to have to fight their way out of it. Coulson, I assume, is going to meet Will and fill him in on the whole situation that is unraveling on Maveth right now. And then I think Ward and Fitz are going to run into the Maveth monster, which is what I guess I'm going to be calling it for right now, the Maveth monster. Now, they didn't say at all why they called this planet Maveth. I'm sure it has a, real world, like, I'm sure there's something in real life that is Maveth that I'm not aware of. I'm sure it's named that for a reason. If somebody could let me know in the comments, that would be great, because I'm afraid to look up, just Maveth and, get spoiled or something. So, let me know in the comments. I'm kind of too afraid to look that up myself. But yeah, really, really good episode. I loved the shot of Coulson jumping out of the fucking Quinjet, diving down into the fucking portal, launching himself into the alien world, and it's head first into a rock. Like, just, what a insane sequence of events. Oh my god. And, oh, shit, I just realized, too. Coulson hitting the rock, bleeding, means that the monster will be fucking drawn to him. I didn't think about that. But, he's not in the sandstorm right now, and Fitz and Ward are. So, we know that where the Maveth monster is right now, but it should be going towards Coulson because of the blood. Unless they start, shedding some blood over on the other side. So, yeah. I think more people are probably going to go through the portal too. There's no reason why during this fight they can't turn it back on and somebody else jump through. Who would it be? Maybe Hunter and Bobby just going in after him. I honestly can't think of who else would go in. Like, yeah, I don't know. Simmons might go back in again. Maybe. I didn't say anything about what Simmons was going to be doing, but, Simmons is kind of captive right now, so I don't think she's going to be doing anything until probably May and Mac go in there to rescue her. Since Joey, Lincoln, and Daisy are probably going to be having their hands busy. It's going to be super cool, though. That's why I'm hoping. Next episode, I'm hoping we get some cool-ass Inhuman fights. I think that's what we're going to get. And, man, honestly, Inhumans for being, like, discount X-Men, so fucking cool. Like, I love the idea of Terrigenesis so much more than just being born with the powers, honestly. It's really cool. I like it a lot. I thought I was going to be not that into it, but Inhumans are dope. I love them. Yeah, I don't know. Don't have much else to say. That's it. I will see you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.